Hello and good evening from Rwanda's capital here in Kigali, and many thanks for joining us on this Friday edition on RwandaTV News. These are the top stories for our viewers in Rwanda and across the world. This Friday at Village Rugwiro, President Paul Kagame is chairing a cabinet meeting which will review the existing measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 pandemic, among other issues to be discussed. A new initiative to increase citizen participation and policy responsiveness to citizens' needs and concerns has been launched, with the government saying that this will add emphasis to holding leaders accountable. Some of the brightest female African scientists are being urged to encourage others to take on science subjects because of the many benefits such field of study provides. Many thanks for joining me and my guest anchor, Aline Gohangaide, who is joining us later on to tell us more about her music career. I'm Ethan Tashobia. You're watching RTV News live from Kigali. Today, President Paul Kagame chaired a cabinet meeting at Village Rugwiro, where existing measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 pandemic will be discussed. Official figures indicate that 60% of Rwanda's population is currently fully vaccinated against the virus. During the last cabinet meeting, which was held in January 26th this year, several resolutions were adopted, including reinstating midnight curfew, opening bars and concerts, among others. Details of the resolutions from this ongoing cabinet meeting will be carried on all our platforms later on, so do stick around. Now, in other stories also today, President Paul Kagame met with Haile Mariam Desalegn, who is the board chair of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, and Agnes Kalibata, who is the AGRA president, who are in Kigali for the launch of the upcoming African Green Revolution Forum, AGRF 2022 Summit, which will be held in Kigali in September 5th to 9th, 2022. The AGRF is considered the world's most important and impactful forum for African agriculture, bringing together stakeholders from across Africa and the agricultural landscape to take practical actions and share lessons that will move African agriculture forward. There you go. Now, as many as 14 of the 85 Rwandans currently known to be living in Ukraine remain in the war-torn country. According to the deputy spokesperson of Rwanda, Adam Mukurarinda, the government of Rwanda has been announcing for some time that there is a plan through Rwandan missions in Europe to help Rwandans living in Ukraine to get out of the country and to reach neighboring countries, while a plan is underway to bring them to Rwanda. In other stories, Never Again Rwanda on Friday launched a new project called Dufatanye Kwiyubakira Igihugu, DKI, with the support of USAID to increase citizen participation and policy responsiveness to citizens' needs and concerns. The Ministry of Local Government has said that the project is going to add emphasis to the existing government programs in Rwanda. Sidi Patel reports.
The program, launched on Friday in Kigali City by Never Again Rwanda, NAR, backed by USAID, is focused on seeking to contribute and strengthen the capacity of citizens, mainly women, youth and vulnerable groups, more effectively by giving them voice through participating to local government planning, budgeting and evaluation through collaboration with local leaders in each program district. This is a 3-year program starting from 2022 to 2024, which has targeted 8 districts, 5 sectors per district. Dr. Joseph Yarasa, the executive director of the NGO Never Again Rwanda, notes the main objectives and initial steps to engage the citizens of and in the project.
The main objective of this project or activity is to supplement the government's effort towards citizen participation. And we believe that civil society is a key partner when it comes to transformational governance, as it is indicated in the National Strategy for Transformation. During the conceptualization, we had to discuss with the citizens, do they as gaps, what do they see as challenges, and what needs to be done.
The project will be funded by USAID at a tune of $3 million USD over 3 years and provide oversight and support in closely working with the design of the program from beginning with the partners, and now look up to working with local partners and explain why they have chosen Rwanda.
Our goal to reach 100,000 citizens here and train 3,000 government officials in the course of the program will be important ways for us to empower the government and its citizens. And certainly since the 1990s, we have been a strong presence in this country. Our programming here has been robust: health, education, democracy and governance, and economic growth, agriculture. There's a strong connection to the people here, given the history, given what they've had to do to recover over the many, many years, and the vitality of this place, both in terms of its ability to raise itself up and to be a model for many other countries, not just in Africa, but around the world for achievement. So for us, continuing to invest here is a natural thing for USAID and for the US people.
Ms. Christine Rulinda, Deputy Executive Director of Programs Development of Quality Assurance in NAR, goes about on how the implementation would be done.
Trainings that would be given to the training leaders are mostly around how to engage the citizen in civic participation. Sometimes the leaders, they are not equipped to engage further the citizens. So they would come maybe to a meeting and then they will address the citizen, and they are not equipped to what we call at Never Again Rwanda into participatory approaches. So for local leaders, we will focus on participatory approaches, how we can equip them to further engage civic participation.
According to Dr. Eric Dushabandi, our Director of Institute of Research and Dialogue for Peace, IRDP, a study conducted by the National Institute of Management, RGB, shows that the role of the community in the project is 61%, which suggests that there should be a strengthening of the role of the community in the process. He highlights on what the result would be after implementation of this project.
This project is offering 3 opportunities. One is to produce evidences. In this way, it becomes Never Again becoming as a think tank to produce evidences to inform policies. Second component of the project is showing that Never Again will be a mobilizer, mobilizing all forces, structures, energies, to bring all stakeholders to use at the highest capacity level to participate in governance. But thirdly is about catalyst. Never Again is being catalyst because it will be at the center of all stakeholders between government, local government, civil society organization, and international partners. But at the center, youth and women, Never Again is becoming a catalyst to make things happening, to make things sustainable, because it will be owned by citizens.
Samuel Dusenjiumba, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government, Mina Lok, said the project would help the government get accurate information about the needs of the people and make sure that people are satisfied with the services provided.
This project, Dufatanye Kwiyubakira Igihugu, is aligned with the national policy on decentralization. Improve on how citizens contribute to what is happening in their villages, in their cells, in their sectors, but also is going to really help to enhance some of the interventions that have been started by the government of Rwanda. We have been seeing that one of them is Umuganda. People are very happy with Umuganda and the way it provides platform to the citizens to really be able to contribute.
The program intends to build upon previous and current work led by NAR on engaging citizens to increasingly understand and participate in the policy processes and co-create spaces to share knowledge and interact effectively with the government, private sector, media, and the public at the local level. The program will boost collaborations among civil society organizations, CSOs, both at the national and community level for discussion, peer learning, and designing collaborative outreach and advocacy initiatives. Siddhi Patel, RTV News.
Thank you, Sidi, for that report. Now, some of the brightest female African scientists have been speaking to students and urging the girls to not only engage in subjects but that center around science and technology and engineering and math, but also encourage others to do the same because of the many benefits such fields of study provides. The call were made on Thursday at Carnegie Mellon University, Africa, here in Kigali. Sergio reports.
The gathering was part of the STEM Women Lead series that seeks to encourage more females to study science, technology, engineering, and math. The panel of distinguished female achievers featured a Rwandan cabinet member and 2 of the top scientist entrepreneurs on the African continent. The panelists shared their experiences on the journey that led them to be the successful women they are today and the difficult experiences they endured to attain their goals. They emphasized that for women to become successful, they should be given the opportunity to shine by all, men included.
I am Minister of State, cabinet member, because His Excellency, the President Paul Kagame, believed in me and believed that there's something in me that could be shared and that could contribute. And so I think there's no greater support coming from a man than that.
And shortly thereafter, I met Professor Juma, and he was a scientist. His whole thing was STEM, and he passionately applied it in his village in Kisumu to agriculture. That example and him holding my hand throughout, he became my thesis advisor, and he changed my life.
Questions from the audiences included what is being done to ensure that such important information and efforts actually have an effect at the local level.
And I believe that I think it's a collective responsibility for everyone in the room to make sure that once you go back, this is also a conversation that you can spark, within your circles. Secondly, I think we will, this is giving me homework, is to ensure that there are many more awareness campaigns that then go to the rural, to the farthest of the communities to ensure that girls there and the community really, because it's not only girls, it's really everyone, for them to understand the benefits of having more women joining STEM.
As I said, to whom much is given, much is expected. I live my life really striving to be a mentor, one way or another. We started Girls in ICT in 2011, humble beginnings. We did Miss Geek Rwanda with little support from the Ministry of ICT, and I spent my own money to get us started. But that first event attracted so much support for what we were striving to do, which is to encourage girls to come into STEM, and what has transpired later. And it became Miss Geek Africa, picked up by Smart Africa, and we are able to engage and mentor girls in various Smart Africa organizations.
The benefits of STEM were also highlighted, not only because of the sort of knowledge they impart, but also because of the way they train students to think.
And then the second thing, which is really important about STEM, is that by definition, when you look at problem solving in a complex environment, it is multidisciplinary. So what you learn by problem solving in mathematics, in chemistry, in physics, actually allows you to be helpful, and I think Lucy highlighted that, in very different types of situations. And because you learn how to learn, you learn how to investigate, how to ask questions, how to test theories, you actually can quickly jump into a new field and become immediately useful because of that.
The students that participated in the discussions were inspired to continue on their path and also encourage others to do the same.
I see myself as a woman pursuing aeronautics, and because of that, I took this initiative of studying STEM. So because I want to take up space in STEM, and it has been notorious that women are not really in these fields of STEM, and that's what also this session was prepared to talk about, because it's talking about women in STEM, and I pursue physics, chemistry, and mathematics.
So what I can tell other girls who are afraid of STEM is that they don't have to care about the stereotypes that STEM is for men, because we are all both equal and we are both strong. So what I can tell them is that they don't have to be afraid. They just have to go and shine. They have to be proud and do what they do best. I know they can do it, and I know they can really get to shine.
This latest edition of the STEM Women Lead series was also streamed live online and featured a large number of female secondary school students from different parts of the country that have undertaken studies in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Sarah Shinhore for Rwanda Television News.
Thanks, sir, for that report. African Methodist Council Executive Meeting, which was held on 3rd and 4th of March and was being hosted by Rwanda Free Methodist Church here in the country, found that the churches need to step up their efforts to develop African countries where these churches are located. They made the remarks at the end of a two-day meeting held here in Kigali. Sidi Patel with more details.
There are 5 pillars of the church built for the betterment of the local community. These include evangelism, education, medicine, general development, welfare, and care for the needy. Reverend Joseph Ntumbura, president of Africa Methodist Council, says that helping the leaders of Methodist churches always train on modernity so that they are not left behind is one of the things to be considered.
In every country, you find the Methodists leading in providing education to our societies, leading in providing health care in our societies, also leading in providing good policies. If I want to talk about it, 17 out of 18 current when social development goals come from Methodism. They come as a result of what John Wesley stated in his manifesto. So we are very involved in development in any sector of the society.
As Methodists, we usually respond to people's situations in a practical way. When we are here, we share with each other what is going on in each country, and together we look at the ways we can deal with the issues going on. So we counsel each other, we support each other, and we learn from each other what we are doing in our conferences.
Africa Methodist Council executive meeting held from March 3rd to 4th in Rwanda found that the churches need to step up their efforts in social economic transformation of Africa. Siddhi Patel, RTV News.